I'm just acting Chicallywood.
I would say that theater is extremely important. Why is it important?
It is important because I call it being butt naked.
Okay.
You are in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
You got one time to get it right. Even though you might have additional shows,
Yeah.
but you got one time to get it right. You got to be so sharp.
Yeah.
You got to know your stuff so tight that when you're standing in front of hundreds of people, you do it correct.
It's a lot of pressure.
Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
That's what makes you good.
Yeah.
That's the difference between your Samuel L. Jacksons and your Denzel Washington, your Laurence Olivier's. That's the difference between them. Now, if you just want to be just like Joe Blow actor, do that. Go up there, learn your lines,
Yeah.
make your mistakes, all the rest of the stuff. But go up there and every show and do it flawless.
Yeah.
Theater puts you in that position to do it flawlessly.
Nice.
And so I wanted to be that good. So I went back to school and took up theater and performing arts.
Beautiful.
And I have learned tons of things. You know, there are different acting methods. You know, you got your Stanislavski method, you got your Meisner method, you got your Una Hagen method. There are so many different types of acting out there.
Wow.
And I wanted to learn those.
Yeah.
So I can be one of the greats.
It's sort of like as a rapper, like for me to really test my skill set, and anybody that's a rapper knows, getting in battles and ciphers, that was the thing, you know, to really test how good you can be an MC. That's what I used to do, just go hard. I mean, I still do it from time to time, you know, I catch me in certain ciphers here and there, but freestyling, to be able to, that was one of the key things I could do extremely well, is freestyle right off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
To be able to entertain, you know, and that would basically challenge me to be in a situation to say, okay, I can put myself in any scenario, any situation in front of a large group of people, and I got an opponent. So I got to be smart enough to be able to assess the situation, to be able to say, hey, how can I basically entertain and tear you down and still, you know.
And make sense.
Yeah.
You can make sense. You know, there are very few that can actually do that. I think that Lil Wayne could do it. I think Black Thought is Black Thought is like,
Yeah.
you know, even though you the bizom, you the bomb.com / org.
Appreciate it.
But other than that, that is why this past semester I took a course in improvisation.
Yeah.
So, like when you have like Wayne Brady and Styles, I forgot what his first name was. Whose line is it anyway? When they would say, "Okay, here's your prompt. You are going through the line going through TSA at the airport. Go."
Wow.
Make it interesting. Make it funny.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do.
And what is that called? That's called
Improvisation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that means that let's say that I'm doing a play. My scene partner forgets their lines. I know their lines because you got to know their lines. You know their lines, you know your own lines.
Yeah.
So you know where they're at all times. So if they drop a line, you got to be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that your scene partner drops a line and they get lost. It's like, did you say something about going to the store?
Oh, gotcha.
So you're feeding them.
Yeah.
You have to know when to feed them.
So it's teamwork.
And so they're like, I was going to the store and I made a right up here by the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
And then they're back on track. You're back on track.
Yeah.
The audience knows nothing about it. That's a real pro.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So let me ask you this. coming from Chicago, how do you see this industry? How has it inspired you, influenced you, like getting work here?
Okay. Well, getting here, we have a boatload of, I would say, independent filmmakers. Some of them are making they're making their mark on the industry.
Yeah.
They are growing, I would say, the Chicago film industry exponentially.
Yeah.
I feel that Chicago can be put in the conversation along with LA and New York
Yes.
and Atlanta.
Yeah.
The only thing that Chicago is actually missing is more collaboration.
I agree.
Not saying that no one does it. It's we need more collaboration.
Yes.
And if we had more collaboration, we can have those big studios that they have in Atlanta, those big studios they have in California.
Yeah.
New York. We can actually go ahead and put out the quality films that the very creative people in Chicago can put out.
Yeah.
Because we know a lot, and we have some very, very creative filmmakers here, very, very creative actors, hella actors.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we come together and combine our resources,
Yeah.
then we can be just as large as any other one.
And that's the reason why I wanted to start and create this platform, Chicallywood, because I see, and this is just not with actors, I see a lot of people, they have this notion of, okay, I'm going to do everything I need to do here, set up, and then I leave. I'm going to go out to Hollywood. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But the one thing I always said, man, but why is that? Why do we have this mindset to say, all right, I'm out? And I get it because the resources, it's a lot of different resources out in, LA. And then we saw everything, in New York. And then now we're seeing Atlanta, like you said. So I take this whole hybrid approach of Chicago and Hollywood, LA, and merge them together and say, hey, let me showcase to you guys exactly what I've come across working with so many amazing actors, whether it's a rapper, whether it's a director, things of that nature. Because even when I first met you, I was like, man, I got to work with this guy. I got to put him in something because I love the way how your approach was. And I just looked at it like, man, this dude ain't already famous. Like like I need to put him in something. So, and at the time I wasn't even doing movies. I was just doing music videos.
Right.
But I knew once I made that transition to doing that, I don't even say transition. It's just one of them things I want to add as far as a skill set. I said, you know what? I'm going to reach back for this brother. And then we worked on a smaller project, which was we worked on community outreach.
Yes.
And shout out to Dewan Austin Jr. That was a dope situation. Sharice
dope.
Eaglin.
Yep.
That was a dope situation because that was me.
David Walker.
Yeah, and David Walker. And that was me testing myself to see, like, how can I film? Oh, and shout out to Mimi Rivers. She was on that too.
Oh, Mimi,
yes.
yeah.
That was a project that I said I need to see how I can, challenge myself to work with multiple actors at one time. You know what I'm saying? So I first saw quality in you guys. That's what made me say I want to work with you because I see the quality. So as an actor, how do you determine quality working with a director? How do you feel like I need to get into a film? Do you gauge it off of, okay, I look at this director's track record, it's okay. Like, how do you gauge that?
Well, first of all, what I do is
I'm just acting Chicallywood.